This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog, coming to another show of movie reviews and observations. This week, thank you to the Skokie Public Library. A bunch of things all came in and gave me a good selection. So the first movie I watched was a movie I've waited a very long time to watch, which is the Justice Society World War II movie, where essentially present-day Flash, Barry Allen, speeds up so fast that he thinks he gets sent into the past, and he's in the past during World War II, and there's a Justice Society, and there's already a Flash, Jay Garrick, and Wonder Woman's leading the team with Steve Trevor, and Black Canary's in there, which is cool because she is a Justice Society character, the first Black Canary, and then, you know, Our Man, who's only got an hour of power, is in there, Hawkman's in there, and you're like, cool. Hawkman is actually talking, because every much New 52 or any animated DC movie, Hawkman doesn't really talk. He's just in there. So I was really happy that Hawkman was in there. And it's interesting that Wonder Woman was leading a team. There was no Superman, there was no Batman. You'll find out about all the other characters in the movie if you go and watch it, and it was pretty cool. Flash helping them stop the Nazis and the bad guys. Aquaman, other characters are in it. So it's a pretty good movie, and it's only an hour and 27 minutes. The only thing is the voice cast, not the best work out of DC, especially a foreign woman playing Wonder Woman. Like, yeah, Matt Bomer's not the lead guy I want, but overall, not a bad collection to the world of DC superhero movies, and they should go look into more Justice Society movies, because there's a lot of characters and things you can do with that. Then I watched Psycho Gourmet, where it's a mixture of science fiction, horror, and comedy. So basically, these two children, where the sister is like the ruler, she's bossy and all the other stuff. They find something, in the dirt, they dig something up, and they read this spell or this thing, and they resurrect this guy or bring him out of a prison. This creature is like this killer. He's like kills all like planets and civilization and stuff. And this council of like good aliens was the one that put him away or whatever. And basically, whoever has this gem can control him. And the girl is holding the gem, and she's in charge and using him to do whatever she wants. And the movie is them just going out and having fun with this character that she calls Psycho Gorman, you know, PG for short. And I'm looking at this, it looks like a very dumb movie. It looked like it could have taken place in the late 70s, early 80s, or 90s. Gotta really see cell phones. So it's like cheesy horror, cheesy guts and blood everywhere. And like totally just like making fun of itself. And overall, you know, I didn't really know anybody in the movie specifically, but overall, it grew on me as I'm watching the movie over 90 minutes, because you know how stupid it is, and how horribly put together the special effects are, and all the gore, and the stupidity in the thing. I was like, okay, it grew on me. So overall, Psycho Gourmet, it grows on you, but you wouldn't necessarily say, oh, I need to go and watch this movie. This movie's like, if you see it on the shelf, you're probably going to skip it, but if you watch it, and you like cheesy horror films with comedy and some science fiction, you'll like it. Then I watched the movie Miss Juneteenth, and it was basically this woman won like a pageant, but now she's a single mom with a rebellious teenager, and she wants her daughter to do that, and she's got an ex who's like the baby daddy who's in the picture or not. It's an hour and 42 minutes, and basically you really understand the whole plot of the movie just by reading the back and seeing the first 10-20 minutes to know that even if her daughter doesn't become this Juneteenth, she's still got to deal with who her daughter is and what's going on, and how her daughter could try to get everything that she never had. So it was okay. I don't get a certified Rotten Tomatoes movie rating, but it's not the most exciting movie nor the best movie, so I don't really get how it's certified by Rotten Tomatoes. It's definitely a movie that if I was picking only movies that I really, really, really need to watch, I probably wouldn't out of my way to watch it, but since I review movies, I did. Then I watched this weird comedy called Half Brothers, and Luis Gerardo Mendez and Connor Del Rio are actors where, you know, I've seen them before. The actor playing their father's friend. You've seen them before. Basically what it is this Hispanic man has to leave Mexico for jobs in America, but doesn't come back, and his son holds a grudge against him, but his son becomes a successful businessman, engineer, all this other stuff. And his long-lost father calls and says, I need you to come see me, I'm not doing well. And here's the spoof. He goes and visits his father and finds out that he has a half-brother. And the whole movie is, he finds out why his father never came back, why his father stopped talking to him, they never spoke and all this stuff, and that he has a half-brother, and why the father stayed with a half-brother, and they're on this mission, cross-country road trip to figure out all these clues instead of just telling him at once, and, you know, the whole cliche thing. Well, It looks like they hate each other, but eventually they're going to grow on each other and become close. And that's really what happens in this movie, and it's only 9-something a minute, but it's one of those dumb, cheesy comedies that you probably would skip if you're trying to pick great comedy. But yeah, I laughed. It was funny. It grew on you, but overall I knew what was going to happen while watching it. Then while traveling, I said, I'll watch the movie Money Plane. It's a short movie. I got it to 82 minutes. Got Kelsey Grammer, Denise Richards, who was in there for like 2 seconds, so I really don't get why she's in the movie, or they even wasted her time or money for her to be in there. As Kelsey Grammer's the bad guy, Adam Copeland's the main character, Thomas Jane is Copeland's brother, and essentially what it is like Copeland and his group of friends are former military, and they all have specific job skills, hacker, this, and that, and they got a team. He's got 2 men and 1 woman, and they supposedly screw up a job and owe Kelsey Grammer money, so Kelsey Grammer goes, I'll give you another chance, or I'll kill you and your family, and you owe me money. And they gotta go rob this thing called the Money Plane, where all the lowest life people, like criminals and human drug traffickers and drug people and like serial killers, all these other things, hitmen, they can all like bet on the most random stuff on the planet. There's all this cryptocurrency, and there's money in the safe and drugs, and there's so many things going on, and the goal is to try to steal the cryptocurrency and all the cash from the thing. And they got to infiltrate it with being businessmen that are in this world. And the woman has to be like a flight attendant, all this stuff like that. And the movie is them trying to do that, and then try to realize that maybe Kelsey Grammer may be not telling all the truth. And Thomas Jane, who's a really good actor, underrated, Jonah Hex, all the other thing, he's like Adam Copeland. He tries to help Adam Copeland out in the movie, and overall, it's not a bad movie. It's just one of these movies that looks like it came straight to DVD because it's 82 minutes and they don't have a rating on here. That I don't know why Kelsey Grammer, Mr. I'm in Cheers and Frasier, would really waste his time with a subpar script, like cheesiness, and like just, it wasn't the greatest movie. It's something like an action movie you put it on and it's super quick and you get it done, but there's lots of weird things like gore and like death and just not the best. So again, I don't get why Denise Richards was in here, but Money Plane was an interesting idea to try to steal cryptocurrency and money off a plane that's in international waters. Then I watched the Disney movie Soul that everybody's saying, oh, you gotta watch it. So do you know what? The movie is basically where this guy finds out he dies and he's a soul and he's trying everything to do to get back to Earth, and he finally does get back to Earth, but then of course I'm not giving the plot. There are issues that come up and he's got to fix those issues on Earth, and then obviously he gets a change of heart and realize, trying to live again is not, what he really wants. He realizes that, he got to do his dream and everything, and but to do that, he had to step over somebody else, and, Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx are in this movie, and a lot of other actors you've heard of doing the voice acting, so there's parts of the movie you're a little sad, parts of the movie where you're comedy, and all these other things, and overall, it's another nice collection to the world of Disney Pixar. I liked it. Good music, but overall, it's not my favorite Disney movie ever. I liked it, but it was like I immediately fell in love with the movie. It was good. It's probably one of the best animated movies I've seen in the last 2 years, pre-COVID, now, like before COVID started, right before and now, and one of the best comedy children's movies in a while. But it's definitely not the best Disney Pixar movie, but it was pretty good. It's definitely something you want to invest your time in watching because it's got a good message and a good way of explaining life and death to children. And the last thing I watched was a John Belushi comedy. And for somebody who's from Chicago, Illinois, Belushi's a legend. Him and his brother, Bill Murray, Second City, everything they did, TV, radio, movies, Blues Brothers, Animal House. So it's a good thing to look into the life of him as a child through teenage years. He was a high school football player, doing Second City, doing these other shows and these other variety programs, to getting to SNL, to while he was on SNL, during SNL, after SNL, the movies, and his personal life. The only thing I would say is Jim Belushi was barely in the movie and they barely talked to him. It would be nice to hear what his brother thought of him, because they're both famous actors and comedic actors and all the other things. But they got a lot of people like Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Lorne Michaels, and other people from SNL and other people in their life. And for an hour and 40-something minutes, it wasn't that long, and you learned a lot. Being a Chicagoan, it's good to know about the famous people from Chicago. And usually not why I've watched a lot of documentaries. I put it on the background, I do something else. It's just there for somebody to talk, but like, was really interested in this guy. I like SNL, sketch comedy, and comedy. I always thought I could maybe do it, maybe. But yeah, overall, it's good to watch documentaries where you're actually really interested in it. So I would suggest watching Jim Belushi documentary, Disney's movie Soul. I definitely suggest watching Justice Society, World War II. Those are probably the three best things I watched this week. And then movies like Psycho, Gourmet, Half Brothers, they kind of grow on you, but they're definitely not your first choice. And Money Plane is an interesting idea, but it's just overall, And this Juneteenth, I don't understand the rotten fresh. It was just your typical teenage, girl, rebellion, single mother, having her when she was young and not living her own dreams out. But yeah, thanks for listening to another edition of Movie Observation. Wow, 60th edition for On the Radar Entertainment Blog. I'm Radar. See you guys next time.